Kendrick was talking about how he liked Back to Back and how he was gonna get back to that on his last disc.
Back to back, I like that record. I'ma get back to that for the record.
So that's exactly what he did at 6:16 a.m. this morning, which is a reference to Drake's timestamp series, Father's Day, the day that the show Euphoria first premiered, Pac's birthday. 6:16 could be Summer 16, Drake's Meek Mill diss, and then it's also this Revelations verse about sitting on the throne or something. I guess Drake was right about Kendrick being in his New York apartment writing up quintuple entendres, cause damn. There's obviously a lot to unpack here, so I'm gonna get straight into it. The song's cover on Instagram is a Maybach glove, Maybach music like Rick Ross, who's also beefing with Drake. It's just one glove like MJ. It's also just one black glove like OJ. And Nicole Brown, who OJ was on trial for killing, her funeral was on June 16th. The fact that he posted it on Instagram was a direct parallel to Drake's Tailor Made, and it also debunks the claim that he could only drop when his label wants him to. The song was also literally tailor made. It was produced by Jack Antonoff, who's the main producer for Taylor on her most recent album. And all of that is before you even get into the lyrics. The intro sets the song up perfectly. He references the song Survival by Drake, where he raps about the streets and being close to death.
Shots that we sending. I've had scuffles with bad boys that wasn't pretending.
Making this part of the fake persona that he's been calling Drake out for. Drake's acting like he has dirt on Kendrick while scrambling to find it.
It was fun until you start to put money in the streets.
Getting extorted by his people who he's paying to go find it.
They lost money cause they came back with no receipts.
But then they come back with nothing.
I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace.
What's another time Drake put money in the streets? The music video for God's Plan. A relevant reference in a song that makes a point out of Kendrick being closer to God and peace because of his morals and honesty. Drake giving out money for a camera and to make more money off the song itself is a perfect example of why he's not on the same level spiritually. Kendrick starts his verse by describing the scene of himself on vacation, similar to how he said he's in a peaceful state on a remote island in Euphoria.
Okay, yeah, the island right here is remote, okay?
Basically, he can't be bothered. He's chilling, enjoying life. But while he's describing this scene on vacation, he's making constant layered references to Drake.
Off-white Sunseeker had the marina.
Calling Drake an off-white sunseeker is a dig at him being biracial and not black enough. Sunseeker could be seeking his sun, but also trying to tan and be more black. At the marina, which is a homophone for at them arenas that Drake has been at for the past year on tour. Kendrick is relaxing, enjoying the company of his family on a Sunseeker, a type of luxury yacht, while Drake is still drowned in work and making money for his label, and he contrasts these in the same line. Sunseeker is also a reference to Daylit, because the sun makes the daylit, the rapper who allegedly wrote Back to Back for Drake, which is fitting since this is Kendrick's Back to Back. The off-white part is also a reference to Virgil, who Drake constantly associates himself with, which just means he's seeking the sun or attention from Virgil's success, which he does with a lot of other artists.
Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever.
He references Drake's ghostwriters as phantoms and Lil Yachty as one of those writers, as it was leaked by Metro that he wrote Jumbotron Shit Poppin'. The Fever is also a yacht brand, and Drake once admitted to renting a Phantom in 2007 for $5,000 a month. Another example of Drake faking his persona to fit in. Kendrick buying things in a fever and to fill a void is a concept he talked about in United in Green.
A couple of mansions just for practice, breathe different. Wine cooler spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer.
Those red wine stains on his shirt double as blood splatter from killing Drake in his vacation metaphor. A sightseer is a term for those paper targets and gun ranges, and he could just be calling Drake a tourist, just in the culture to see the sights but not really belonging to it. In the first half of the song, he begins to delve into his spiritual side, bringing up a holy trinity-like combination of things that define him.
Trifecta, money, morals, and culture.
While Drake only has the money, Kendrick has that alongside morals and culture.
Passport tatted, that's your hub in Ibiza.
He's saying he's well traveled here, but he's also referencing the album that J. Cole dissed him on. It had a song called Trade the Truth in Ibiza.
Luke Cali's dwellings in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza.
This is a response to Drake saying he's struggling in that NY apartment.
I know you in that NY apartment, you struggling right now, I know it.
But does he know something we don't about when Drake and KD went there for dinner in 2020? The last time we referenced a restaurant, it was New Hall King in Toronto, where Drake got robbed in 2009.
It's only God can teleport this type of freedom.
This is a response to Drake saying that he has no freedom in his label. Kendrick is saying that his real freedom is in his relationship with God, and no money can replace that.
My confession is yours.
Kendrick confessed his sins and shortcomings on his last album and found peace from that.
I discover myself with not far short.
But also acknowledges he is who he is because he's ready to go to war.
Who am I if I don't go to war?
Here's another spiritual reference that can allude to jumping on a song with a rapper named after a planet, Pluto.
Me jumping planets immortalized.
And the falling sky, the world-shattering impact that it had on music and Drake's career that resulted from one verse.
Raise my hands to a falling sky.
He dropped Euphoria 8/24, Kobe's birthday, and then this song with Pac's birthday.
3 angels watching me all the time.
So if those are the angels that are watching him, whoever the next West Coast legend that's watching over him is likely going to be the time he drops the next one. Nipsey was born on August 15th, so if the next song drops at 8:15, I called it. It's also a reference to the religious concept of 3 angels being assigned to people at birth.
Put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace.
Not only is peace from spirituality something that Kendrick has that he's saying Drake never will, but raising and protecting his child with that is a big part of that peace too. He's kind of saying Drake won't be able to raise his son right if he doesn't have God in his life.
Tell me who gon' stop me. I come from love.
With this inner peace from family and God in hand, you can't shake Kendrick, referencing this verse from Romans.
And still cover my heart.
Here he references his late grandmother, who he raps about often as an inspiration and another guardian angel in his life, like on United in Grief.
Heartbroken when it's still to say goodbye. Circadian rhythms of a shooting star.
Circadian rhythms are sleep cycles, so along with how a star is still until it's shooting, he's showing how he remains dormant and at rest until it's time to wake up and go to war, instead of trying to keep that warlike persona at all times like Drake. This diss song is also literally him shooting at a star.
The mannerisms of Raphael, I can heal and give you art.
Here he's referencing the angel Raphael, who's known for healing, and the painter Raphael, whose work showed focus on the human anatomy at times.
But the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart.
His music can heal you like the angel Raphael, but it could also dissect you like a painter, with a double entendre of cooking a dead animal carcass. It's also what this song does. The first half up to this point was more focused on his own healing, but the rest of the song is the dissection of the industry and the shady ways that Drake uses it. He starts with DJ Academic,
I can see the vibes on Ack, even he looking compromised.
who's known to be obsessed with Drake and who Drake has been using throughout this whole beef as a sample, counting down every day that he didn't respond to Drake, but might even now be compromised as he was visibly shocked on stream listening to Euphoria. This is where Kendrick starts talking about the leaks and moles in Drake's operation, and this line implies that DJ Academics might be one of them, or at least isn't as loyal as Drake thinks. A month ago, he bought a Maybach and called it a representation of the rappers whose careers he killed. Again, the cover of this song was a Maybach glove. He's also referencing Push's diss, where he said he would be coming with more disses all summer, and that he was ready to
peel it back layer by layer.
If Push had more dirt on Drake to follow up the Sun reveal, this implies Kendrick definitely has it too.
Beating your chest, harassing ant.
Here Kendrick standing up for his manager Ant, who Drake brought into the beef with these story posts. In the next few lines, he references 3 different labels: Good Music, which Pusha T was on,
Fucking with good people make good people go to back.
Cash from XO, which The Weeknd is signed to,
Conspiracies about cash, dog, that's not even the leak.
and then OVO.
Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?
These conspiracies about Cash that he's talking about are this line about The Weeknd's manager extorting him from push-ups.
Cash flowing, able bread out here tricking.
And Cash Doll is a girl that left her man for Drake and got robbed of $500,000 worth of jewels, which is why he calls her a jewel.
Find the Jews like cash, dog. I just need you to think.
But Kendrick starts saying here that you think Abel and I are getting extorted. Look around you. Everyone that you're paying in your camp to get dirt is taking your money and coming back with nothing because Kendrick has nothing to hide. Him saying that's not even the leak is a reference to The Weeknd implying this in his Drake diss.
When they got leaks in their operation.
He continues this game of Never Have I Ever that he started in Euphoria.
Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play.
Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see.
As a dig at Drake's creepy relationships with high schoolers. And after that comes the line about someone in OVO working for Kendrick. And here's what he's been hearing from that leak.
You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it.
There's probably something we don't know about how Drake is treating the people in his camp, which is making them resent him and secretly side with Kendrick. And now he's got a source of dirt that he didn't have to go around and pay for, like he said on Euphoria.
Why would I call around trying to get dirt on niggas? Y'all thinking my life is rap?
Drake is going around paying the people in his camp to get some dirt on Kendrick. Meanwhile, they're actually feeding dirt about Drake to Kendrick. So, referencing whatever dirt he's hearing from the mole, he references Drake's Tootsie Slide.
Can't Tootsie Slide about it. This one is just gonna resurface.
Another song where Drake fakes being about street life, saying that either way he's gonna slide and that he can't let shit slide. Kendrick's like, alright then, don't let this shit slide. He's testing him to see what he's gonna do about that mole. But the resurface part also implies that it's just as easy to find another one and that more dirt will surface, and that's how disloyal Drake's camp is.
Every dog gotta have his day. Now live in your purpose.
This line is a double reference to For All the Dogs, and this line in Kendrick's For Free,
Every dog has his day. Now doggy style shall help.
a song that Drake interpolated with a DJ Khaled record of the same name. Then we get those lines about Drake not finding any real dirt that I mentioned before, claiming again that Drake has to be careful about who's wired up, leaking things against him.
Know the wires in your circle should puzzle you.
Again calling his street persona fake by saying if he was really from the streets, he wouldn't have that many people around him extorting him.
If you were street smart, then you would have caught that your entourage is only to hustle you.
If Drake is coming after all these rappers for spending the money he does on women and men in their camp on push-ups,
Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas.
Kendrick is responding by saying not only are you paying even more people,
100 niggas that you got on salary,
a lot of them would rather see you dead.
and 20 of them want you as a casualty.
He references Beam here as one of those 20.
And one of them is actually next to you.
The singer-songwriter that he called out as one of Drake's writers on Euphoria.
20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack niggas that right with you.
Yeah, tell Bean that he better stay right with you.
Finally, he's coming after Drake for using media sources like academics and industry plants like Zach Bia
You're playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots.
to spread propaganda and try to sway the public.
You playing dirty with propaganda, he'll blow up on you.
A lot of people have accused Drake of using Twitter bots to slander his enemies since the Pusha T beef, with all these screenshots popping up now of fake accounts and big rap pages that glaze Drake popping out of nowhere.
The little means is losing steam, they figured you out.
Kendrick is saying time's up on trying to win the battle on the internet through memes and what he calls forced opinions.
The forced opinions is not convincing, I need a new route.
Basically all these posts and comments making people think they're taking his side because people are going to figure it out eventually. It's an interesting claim to make. Whatever comments are flooded with can really influence people's opinions before they hear a song. Drake's been using this to his advantage with the AI tracks, but Kendrick is saying bar for bar, he could expose Drake and make it so that these gimmicks don't work. He gives him one last warning to find out who's really loyal and who's not around him.
It's time that you look around on who's around you.
And in the last line,
Before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
he references the disses What Would Meek Do by Pusha T, Drake's diss on Future What Would Pluto Do, the common religious saying What Would Jesus Do, and makes one last reference to Drake calling himself MJ by referencing You Are Not Alone. You Are Not Alone was composed by R. Kelly. I think it was written by him too, making it another reference to Drake's Diddy allegation. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and the last one. Let me know what I missed in the comments and subscribe for breakdowns of every song in this beef as it continues.